by Romy. Oh, it'll be a pop rock extravaganza. There's a Northeast Ohio connection. Cody Carson from Set It Off. He went to Oberlin, I think. Kind of blew up on YouTube, right? Dropped out of Oberlin. Maybe you know him. Anyway, the whole thing is coming to the House of Blues around the corner here on Saturday, March the 30th, about a month and a half away. Tickets, Ticketmaster.com. This pair for you if you are caller 10. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Are the days getting longer? Or does this show just make it feel that way?
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
If you hit up AlanCoxShow.com, go to the contest page, you can still vote on which one of our Polar Blast teams you think will win. We get a bunch of prizes courtesy of our friends over at Circle K. And Friday night, we're going to do it. Mary's going to be back. The 12th annual Alan Cox Show Polar Blast Battle. That's our annual tubing race. And by all accounts, even though it's a weird week for weather, it's 52 today, it's supposed to be like 27 or something on Friday. So the weather should be very cooperative, hopefully. And you can come out and join us. It's free to come hang. We just do our race and then go to the lodge and party. Mattitude's going to be spinning. He posted a thing on his Instagram. But my team, the Coxicles, Bill's team,
Ices.
Mary's team, Snow Babies, and Poundcake, the Astro Sliders, or Team Astro Slide. Mary and I kept our team names.
You guys always do. Boring.
Well, no, I used to have...
boring.
Well, I didn't always have Coxicles. I had Cold Cocks one year, and I'm not going to top that. And so...
it's about topping. It's about giving everybody something new.
Oh, please.
I like new.
I know my limitations. I don't think anybody's going to hold it against me if I haven't come up with a new Polar Blast team
I got people
name.
begging me to come up to use old ones that I use, and I say, no.
What are the old ones?
New one.
Wait.
Turgid protuberance.
They're begging you to use old Polar Blast names.
Yes. Zach in particular.
Maybe they need a
our
hobby.
Regular, he is always, go back to turgid protuberance, and I will never. I don't like going back to old names. I think part of the fun is coming up with something new every year.
Well, then I'll make this pledge to you. Next year, provided we do it, I'll come up with a new team name.
There you go.
I'll call my team Snow Babies.
Hey, no.
I love it.
No.
I think it's great. Beat Snow Babies this year. No, you'll have to be Snow Babies too,
Team
Mary.
Snow Babies against Team Snow Babies. Here we go. Next year, Mary's team will be called
Snow Babies 2.
No. I keep my name. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It is broke.
You
the
don't get to
Comedy
take
Slider.
mine. No. You don't get to take it.
All right, well, fine. No big announcement today here on the program, but anyway, Friday night, we'll be back at Boston Mills Brandywine for the Alan Cox Show Polar Blast Battle, and it's always a great time, no matter what we call our teams. Poundcake shares his team with Barry White, who is, of course, the polar bear mascot out there at Boston Mills, and we will be getting around courtesy of Statement Limousine. So again, thank you very much. I found out today that our driver's last name is Ryder, which, if that's made up, that is fantastic. Well done, you. Today is the 59th anniversary. If you've noticed that I've been burning candles in here, Bill, today, and you know that I have, today's the 59th anniversary of the assassination of Poundcake, who was assassinated 59 years ago today. Major figure in Black American history.
59 years ago today, Martin Luther King Jr.
No.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X was murdered by other Nation of Islam members. That's right. They shot him right. They shot him in the chest with a shotgun. The guys who did it, I think, have since they've gotten out of prison, and he was 39 years old. Now, the only reason I knew anything about Malcolm X, Mary was talking about her gig at Eastern Connecticut State University. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Is that my first stand-up gig that I got paid was at Malcolm X College, which was one of the city colleges of Chicago. And as you might suspect, there weren't a lot of people in the audience who looked like me. But I was getting paid with a couple of other people. I had been put on the show. And it was a learning experience. But in the process of waiting and looking around, obviously, there was all kinds of information about Malcolm X. And the people I was working with, there used to be a club on the south side of Chicago called All Jokes Aside. I started doing stand-up in 1991. Why, Bill? Because I'm old. Mm-hmm. And All Jokes Aside was like the spot. The main clubs in Chicago weren't booking a lot of, like the quote-unquote mainstream clubs weren't booking a lot of black comics. They weren't booking Martin Lawrence, and they weren't booking Cedric the Entertainer and, Bernie Mac and those guys, who was a hometown guy. So this place was called All Jokes Aside. And open mic nights, I would go in there, and it was me, and there was this one white girl who was doing stand-up locally, and then about 20 black guys. So you guys know Sully McCullough? Remember Sully McCullough?
No.
Okay. So I'm doing shows with guys like Sully McCullough. George Wilborn was the house MC, if you're familiar with George Wilborn. And the conventional wisdom at the time was, because I was a novelty, if you can make a black audience laugh, you can make anybody laugh, because they're not going to give it up easily. That's what everybody would tell you. And so Malcolm X College was the first place that I got paid. Now, of course, I did terribly. I hadn't been doing it that long, but I did get paid. And that's all you care about. You guys still have your first check?
No.
Not
You don't.
ever.
You don't have your first check that you ever got from doing stand-up?
I'm so not sentimental. I don't have anything.
Well, not sentimental.
But that's, yeah.
But at that time, I didn't know that I wouldn't be doing that as a career.
Also, the first check I got, I had deposited in the bank. Did they give it back?
What's that?
Don't you, I deposit it, and that's that.
Well, I didn't deposit mine.
Oh, I needed the money. You didn't deposit the money?
No. It was $75.
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't need
times when I needed $75.
No, I understand. But
yeah.
it just so happened that at that time, I was like, I'm not going to deposit this check. Now, I can't tell you where that is now. It's somewhere. It's in a tub somewhere. But
you should try and cash it.
I'm sorry?
Try and cash it.
I think checks have a 90-day void on them, correct? Is that still a thing? Let alone 30-plus years. Can you imagine that? If I found it and tried to cash it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is from Malcolm X College, which has, since moved entirely, their location is completely different. I don't even know if it's still called Malcolm X College, because it was called something else first. And then, I don't know. But it was Malcolm X College when I was there. And so, yes, Poundcake is absolutely correct. Poundcake's, by the way, I know I'm not supposed to pull the curtain back on other people's projects, but I'm so proud of him. Poundcake's doing a new episode tonight, 8 o'clock on Instagram Live.
No,
it's
tomorrow.
Called Tomorrow night. This week has really thrown me off. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. I'm just trying to get people excited, so I'm giving it to them a day early. He's going to be doing an entire hour tomorrow night, Cake by the Lake, the life and death of Malcolm X.
Oh, a history lesson.
Well,
It is Black History Month.
in his own inimitable fashion, yes. And he'll have special guests. He will have former members of the Nation of Islam that he's going to talk to.
Malcolm X hologram.
He's going to talk to Malcolm Shabazz. He's going to, I don't know who else he's going to have on, but that's why it will be compelling to watch. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, I like to know where people are. If you're one of our bureau chiefs from out of state, you might listen out of state and go, I'm not going to bother Alan by telling him what podunk jerkwater burg I'm listening to. I want to know. Mike listens in Rochester. Kevin's in Miami. Melissa's in Seattle. Well, let me find a jerkwater burg here. Glenmore, Ohio. Anybody know where that is? That's where Smitty is. Anyway.
Oh, that's where Smitty is.
you can leave us messages there.
Alan, Kevin in Pittsburgh here. This is why we can never move away from having change as a currency system in the United States. Because when I hear a story about a man shoving things into his penis, I need an accurate representation system. A button is not as descriptive as a dime, a nickel, or a quarter, even a $50. So God bless America. Keep the change. Hate the show.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Mary wasn't here for these yesterday where the 73-year-old guy had to go and get the button-sized batteries removed from his urethra because his thing was sticking them into his penis, which he said he had done before and had no issues. But this time, boy, did he have issues. And they had to squeeze him out. And
Well, you got to keep your Neuralink charged somehow.
is that what it is? That's a good way to look at it, really. Yeah, so to that guy's point, we should keep... Yeah, because there are... A handful of people pointed this out to me, that there are... It wasn't descriptive enough because there are different sizes of button, quote-unquote, batteries. Now, I was thinking of these short, fatter ones. There are thinner but bigger discs. Because I was looking, when I was talking about it yesterday, I was looking at the image of the guy's X-ray. And it did look like those kind of stubby, small button batteries. He wasn't jamming like wide, thin discs in
No,
there.
I imagined it was like like a shirt button. Like a dress shirt.
Yes.
The one, like the batteries that go in like laser pointers.
Yeah.
That's what I was picturing.
Laser pointers.
Like a cat toy. That's my point of reference.
I was going to say, well, you might be right.
Why does your cat need a toy to
shoot down planes?
No, he's being gross.
Your cat is being gross.
Bill is being gross.
Oh. I thought you meant your cat was being gross. Was Bill implying that your cat, that it was a sex toy for your cat?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. Mary's
Yes, you
just
were.
gross.
No, that's exactly who you are.
Mary's putting words in your mouth, Bill.
That's what it seems like.
No.
She's just so pervy now doing all her FaceTime sexting that I inspired her to do.
You're so annoying.
It's
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave.
Is it working?
Is what working?
The FaceTime sexting?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
How would
We
it
did on
not
Sunday.
work?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They did it before she moved to New York.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No.
No,
When I
she
did it, it
heard
was the
about my
first time.
joke, and then she's like,
Stop.
hey.
You're so gross.
Well, I knew that's what really launched it for her, but I thought that she had done it, or they had, when she had been on the road, I thought you guys had dipped your toe in that pool before New York.
Does he have the app on his phone, Mary?
What app?
That control?
No, we don't have anything like that.
Oh,
like that
you
where
need
it
to get
controls
it.
it or whatever.
Yeah,
No, we
you
don't
need to
have
get that.
Maybe that's next.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Inspired by me and Poundcake.
Can you stop?
I'm going to sit this
Why
one
are
out,
you
Mary,
like
if it's okay with you. I don't need to have a hand in it.
No.
Yeah.
I know.
Listen, and I heard from one person after we talked about that yesterday. I said, Alan, I am a proponent or a practitioner of sounding, which we've talked to Dr. Ryan Berglund about, who, by the way, will rejoin us in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
For our next installment of Is It Red? And this person was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, to be very, very clear, I'm not shaming anyone about what you're doing. Obviously, a guy who's gets off jamming button batteries in his urethra seems to me to have missed out on a lot of other potentially sexy
Pleasurable
things.
things, yeah.
Yes. So I'm obviously horrified, but it's your dong. You know, everybody needs to express their individuality. Everybody has to find a way to stand out. And some people are talented. Some people have a natural affinity for something. Some people are attractive. That can get you a long way if you win the genetic lottery. Some people are physical specimens of some kind. And then a lot of people don't have anything like that. They don't have anything. You know, you hear, well, everybody's good at something. No, some people aren't good at anything. But you still want to stand out. You still have to express your individuality. People who, this guy probably realizes, look, I'm not going to leave my mark in any meaningful way, but I'm here now. So let me stand out. So everybody, you hit the drop-down menu. That's how you get face tattoos. That's how people, spend tons of money on piercings or, neon green hair, whatever it is, because you got to stand out. There's nothing wrong with that. This guy, because you don't wake up one day and go, hey, that's what I like. You don't know you like it until you do it. So that first step into, I wonder if this would fit in there. That's a huge leap. That's a big old chasm. So the irony, of course, is that nonconformists all end up looking like each other. That's how people end up.
It's like a uniform, yeah.
That's how people end up ratcheting it up to where you're putting button batteries in your penis.
And that's how you stand out above the crowd, even if you got to shout out loud.
That's right.
So, mine's the only face you see. Gonna stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Till you notice me.
There you go. And this guy wanted to get noticed by some random ER nurse or doctor. Look at a guy like me. I don't have any tattoos, right? That makes me more unique than all y'all.
In a way, yeah.
Just had in a way, of course. It waited out. This guy, though, batteries in the penis. And God bless him, because he's living his best life. They got him out. Is that a guy who's
all I had to do was make an incision in his penis to do it?
Is this a guy who's 73? If he ain't learned by now, he ain't going to learn. He's going to be right as soon as that heals.
He's going to die
right
doing what he loves, sticking things in his penis. It's going to kill him.
I guarantee one of the first questions he asked those doctors post-op, when can I start doing this again? And they go, we would really, really advise against it.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say
that. That's
said,
not what I asked.
When can I do it again?
That's right.
That is so true, though.
Of course it is.
Sir, we really recommend it. No. When will I be able to do it again?
You're under the misapprehension that I don't know this is a really bad idea. I've moved past that, and I want to know when I can engage in this wildly dangerous activity again. That's how we as a society push forward all the little points of light, including the 73-year-old guy putting button batteries in his penis. I've got a break. Want to go to a Cavs game? They're going to be playing the Knicks in a couple of weeks. Week from this Sunday at the Romo Fijo. So we'll get a couple of tickets for you and a pal. 35192. Want to text me for anything, AlanCoxShow.com for everything else.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Nobody wants to be picked last to join a team. Or, even worse, not even